BlackBusters.
And all right, I can't even do it, bro. What's cracking, man? What's up, family? Welcome back to another episode of BlackBusters, the best movie review podcast in the world.
Craig.
I'm your host, Big Ja, along with my co-host,
1990 Tone.
1990 Tone.
I was dreaming when I popped this.
We're gonna party like it's 1990
It was
Tone.
either 1990 Tone or Lake Minnetonka.
Lake Minnetonka's bomb.
Is a good one? Is a better one?
No. Both.
They're both good. All right.
Hey, along with my co-host, Link Minnetonka, aka 1990 Tone.
Yeah.
Man.
Those work.
Yes.
Those work.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And bro, we are here once again with the illustrious, debonair, man of the hour, the day, the month, the year. My brother Ken Edwin.
Yes, sir.
Thanks for having me.
Yes,
I'm telling you, he's got dual citizenship. Like you've been here so many times. You got dual citizenship. Whatever it is that you're doing, you don't stop in customs when you come through.
I actually signed a contract with you guys for certain movies.
Got it.
This is one of those movies.
Hey, and I hit him last minute. I was like, damn, Ken be busy. I hit him last night. I said, I realized I almost panicked. I was like, what if he is busy and he can't do it? Because it was like literally, I told you maybe 10 hours ago.
He said, I was already watching it.
He said,
what a coincidence.
Yeah, I'm watching it. So I'm watching it right now, and you sent me a text about saying something, right? And it reminded me to hit you up about Thursday. And I was like, oh, we doing Prince. We doing Purple Rain.
Yeah.
And so I just threw it out there real quick. I said, bro, we doing Purple Rain tomorrow. He said, what? I said, he said, that means I got to be there, right? I said,
what? ... Time.
Yeah.
That's what he said.
Fantastic.
I said,
fantastic.
Bro, I said, we got it between 4 and 8. Is that your choice? He said 4. I said, cool.
We own it.
And we own it. It had to be, bro, I couldn't have done it. I would have, I mean, obviously we got to get as many as we can get down, but I would have been like, bro, we got to redo it, or we got to move it or save it. Yeah.
There's just
because we finna get into Purple Rain.
Purple Rain.
Yes.
Prince. I'm just gonna say Prince. Apollonia.
Yes.
Morris Day.
Yes.
Jerome Benton.
Benton.
Come on.
Right.
Dearly beloved.
Dearly beloved.
Gathered here to
The Mirror.
Thing
The
called
Mirror.
The Mirror.
The Mirror is in it. Yes. Bruh. Purple Rain. 1984. It is directed by Albert Magnoli. However, I feel like it's directed by Prince.
Yeah.
It has to be.
I feel like it's written by Prince.
Yeah.
I feel like everything is Prince.
Yeah.
I don't think that he would let you do too much without his approval.
Yeah, I think at worst, Prince was a problem on set. At best, he was a fantastic collaborator.
Right.
And I think it was probably the latter. Right.
Yeah.
I think he was a fantastic
Well, it was
collaborator.
both.
Yeah, I think it was. Maybe it was both.
And the only problem is like he probably went too far, but they probably like whatever he wants, he's gonna get. This is his movie. Like,
and Prince has a reputation for being a hard worker, but aside from his behavioral, however you feel about that, the machine be machining.
right.
Like, like the revolution and the music and the tours and the rehearsals, like he runs a tight ship.
Yeah.
So I imagine that they were running a very tight ship.
Yeah.
But like from some of like the half-ass research that I've done, like a lot of these songs that were in Purple Rain were written because the director asked for it. Right? Like I need a montage. I need a song for this. I need a song for that. And Prince was churning them out.
Yeah.
He was churning them out. So that gives me the evidence that like he was maybe more positive collaborator than disruptor. But either way, his fingerprints are all over this movie.
I agree. I think they was like, whatever he wants, he's going to get. Whatever he sees fit for this role, for this scene, for this angle, we want to make him happy because he is the reason why we're making this movie. The movie doesn't get made unless there's Prince involved.
Yeah,
it's a movie about Prince. about his life. You know what I'm saying? Loosely based or severely based.
It's so interesting that this movie got made because Prince was still on the rise in 84. Right. So like this is
what kind of
like took it way over the top. I mean, he was already a thing kind of, but like it's kind of rare for somebody this early in their career to get a major picture.
Eminem did it too.
Yeah. But even Eminem felt more on when 8 Mile came out than Prince.
Yeah. You think he was more on than Prince was?
It's almost like if Eminem had like released 2 singles and then had the movie, then Slim Shady came out.
I will say this because I am the resident Prince expert. He had 3 albums out before.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying.
So
he was 25 when he came out with this little Purple Rain.
He was established as an artist. He wasn't like the big mega star.
He did Diamonds and Pearls wasn't out yet.
No.
Right?
But he was still Minnesota based.
He was still like he was a very like polarizing figure. He was like that guy that was like, okay, what is he gonna give us? It's gonna be like we know how talented he is, but we don't know what's gonna happen with this movie.
I think they was like, this guy's on the way.
Yes.
He's here already, but he's gonna go even further. Let's do a movie about him.
And this movie set it off.
So the problems that one of the problems was, which is one of the things that I think Prince would be a stickler for, is the music. Right? Like you were saying, he was trying to push out, like he was pumping out all these songs for the actual movie.
Yeah.
But the way they shot everything, he wanted it to be live. He was like, we're gonna be on a set where we're gonna be doing these songs live. I want it to look just like the place that I came up in and I had to play music in.
Yep.
So it has to sound a certain way. They never did that in film before.
That's a real challenge.
Which is why they got best score.
Yeah.
And you got an Oscar for it. Because it was like nobody ever heard anything like that before. That's why when you hear it, it's them singing live. They're singing these songs live. There's parts in it where, you're like, okay, that doesn't
ADR
sound live.
maybe here.
Yeah.
But for the most part,
it's live.
Live performance.
It's live music. They shot it live.
Bro.
It's like they may be lip singing, I think, when they're doing it live, but they actually perform that music
And
live.
you know what's evidence of that? The movie looks its best during the performances. Right? The knock around narrative scenes, like the scenes in between the performances, the audio sometimes sounds a little overdubbed or underdubbed. The shot selection seems a little, but when they are on stage giving the performances, you could tell everybody was micro-focused.
For sure.
And they got all the shots that they needed to really bring these very like dynamic and robust and kinetic performances that had a lot going on stage to like bring them to life. And I think that kind of like what makes this movie so rewatchable.
Exactly.
Because I kind of just like will put it on and waiting for the numbers.
Yeah.
Just kind of waiting for them to get back in the club.
Exactly. I was waiting for them to get back on stage.
Yeah.
Because I was like, the script wasn't the best.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
clunky.
The movie was great.
Yeah.
But in the scenes, not necessarily the performance of the scenes, but the scenes were dope. Like they could have did better. I look at the scene where he drove her off to the river. Right? To the lake. That could have had real dialogue that could have really helped the story. A better written film.
Yeah.
We didn't really know who Apollonia was.
He was like, where you from?
Yeah.
We know she hopped out of the cab. But she had to. We get a sense that she's taking all the money that she has to get to Minnesota, to get to the club. I mean, there's New York, there's LA, but she wanted to get to Minnesota.
But no pun intended. That's kind of the sign of the times.
Yeah. Okay.
Like people used to do stuff like that back then.
Yeah.
It's like, you know what, I want to go.
It's just rocking club in Minnesota. Minnesota,
but
I'm going there and I'm gonna sing.
Why not LA? Now LA is where you have to already be famous.
I gotta do it now.
Minnesota is where you get famous.
Yeah. Madonna went there in
you know what I'm saying?
81. So I'm gonna go there in 82. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
But she gets to the club, you know, with hardly any money to her name.
She hops out the cab, and I'm assuming later on we see her in the alley with the money. So I guess she's like, I don't want to spend this money on the cab because I still got to
she sprint.
I got to spend it on this hotel.
On the room.
No, she got to spend it on a room.
Yeah.
It wasn't a hotel, it was a room.
Yeah, it was a room.
So people rent out rooms.
It was like a hooker
That's right.
room. Like it was like a pay by hour.
Right.
Kind of Snooty Fox kind of joint.
This is for
Snooty
the
Fox.
This is for the week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You come out that club to, you know,
And it was right across
this
the
is where you
street.
work.
Right
Yeah.
across the street from the spot she wanted to be.
Right.
And she snuck in and she's trying to talk to the manager because I'm fine and I can sing and I can dance. That's what we kind of pick up from her.
Uh-huh.
We, you know, but to your point, Prince remains really mysterious for a lot of the movie. Like we see that first performance and he's awesome and he's incredible. And then he's immediately weird afterwards.
Yes.
Weird.
Right.
Off
Like,
the stage, he's the
immediately
weirdest.
weird.
Listen,
Yeah.
that's why I think the script is good.
Yeah.
Because it everything is pushed. Like it pushes the story forward. Him being weird, not saying nothing to her, is perfect.
I mean, it's very Prince.
Yeah.
So, all right. So when I say I'm specifically talking about dialogue, just like
I feel like that's more of the acting though.
What you mean?
Because I feel like none of them are actors.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's just like, all right, except his dad, of course, and his mom.
Yeah.
Which
Wonderful. Is amazing. That like their scenes were crazy.
And for him not to be an actor, Prince did his thing.
He did his thing.
He emoted.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And there was some and his life is basically that, right? He grew up very, very violent. Mom was abused and all that stuff. Him as well.
Father
So,
was a musician.
To relive that,
and
I'm sure some of them tears is real, bro.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? To relive that for sure and act that out. But I'm sure that was his choice. That was probably his therapy.
Yeah.
You know, and the moments with his dad, oof.
Yeah.
As a kid, it don't register to me.
Yeah.
But as a grown man that lost his father, or a grown man trying to bond with his dad, you know what I'm saying? Even though I never had an issue bonding with my father, but I can just imagine what that could be like.
Yeah.
He's trying to any way to get in with his pops.
Yeah.
I mean, you could already tell that like they were way past, are you going to come to my show tonight?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
I'm surprised that you even let me in the room with you, bro.
Yeah. Like,
he said when he did say something, he was like, "Not performing."
Yeah.
It was like,
His dad was never coming to his show.
Never
was curious about his music. Never, you know,
right.
Like there might have been a time when they were little, where like, you know, Pops maybe taught him some chords
at the piano.
But we are by
now he's 20
by the time we get to that, like his dad could kind of give a fuck.
I feel like he made him. No, you're going to play these instruments. That's what you're gonna do.
Yeah.
And then that's the first thing you do in life.
You disappear from
and then Pops changed.
Yeah.
Right.
You know,
then he changed.
It didn't happen. It didn't happen for Dad.
Not seeing your son perform when your son is Prince. That's crazy.
Yeah. But if you imagine Prince's dad is probably like, what the fuck is this? Like he sees, he's probably like, if you look at how he dresses,
basically, he's like,
how he smokes,
my
he's probably
son
like,
is a vampire.
Yeah, what the fuck? My son is a vampire.
My son's a vampire.
Yeah.
He's definitely a jazz guy.
Yeah,
he's definitely a jazz guy. So
He's
this
hard
rock
with it,
and
too.
roll, like what rock?
Yeah.
What are you doing?
His son's dressing weird. He's got this weird motorcycle, and the earring. So he's probably like,
he has a blouse on.
Yeah, we haven't even had like that. So he's probably like, I'm no way in hell
I'm coming to
am
see
I
you.
coming down to see that bullshit.
Yeah, exactly.
That's not real music.
You're dressed like a pirate.
Yeah, exactly.
Come on.
Right. Pops is not feeling that.
You're doing the splits and heels.
And you better not ask your mama to go.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
You know,
I don't even want to go to the store.
She can't come
You
either.
live not. Hey, and he never did. You never saw him like, hey mom, performance here Thursday night.
Never.
Yeah.
He know if mom's coming to the show, she get knocked.
We
out.
already know that
She gonna get faded
yes.
later on.
You just crawl into the basement, shut the fuck up.
And that's such a crazy thing because like you can tell in the movie, in the beginning, the first time we see his mom and his dad, it's a fight.
Yeah.
And he's coming home after killing it.
Having a great show.
Killing it. People love him. He's like, it's just like I love the way they start this movie.
Yeah.
They start this movie with him on top. Let me show
top.
you what it is.
Yeah.
I'm on top.
Yeah.
I'm macking the girl down without saying a word.
Yes. And then I go home. They call me the kid, but I'm acting just like a kid. I roll my bike up to the door.
Yep.
It's not even a big bike. It's a little bike now.
It's a little
It's like a little. It's a little tricycle.
Yeah.
I just got my tricycle up.
It's a step up from a moped.
I walk to the door and I hear my parents fighting.
And he takes a deep breath. Like he pauses at the door.
Goes inside and gets slapped.
Immediately.
It gets, man.
They don't even say nothing else in the scene. Yep. It's like, on to the next thing.
And that's what I meant about the script. Like it is.
I like that though.
I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
I'm okay
everything kind of like
I'm saying. Like so no, this for the record, I love this. I'm digging. I'm watching it. And I'm like, I get what they're doing.
Yeah.
It's not about the script. It's about this music.
Yes.
It's about this music.
Yeah.
And the music and how he's dating Apollonia with the music.
Yes.
Hell yeah.
That's what was fire to me.
Anything that's happening in life, it's in the music.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
He didn't express himself very well.
Yeah.
Instead of just saying, "Hey, bro, hey, babe, I don't think you should get down with Morris. He has ulterior motives. He's a sleaze bag." All he didn't say, he don't know how to talk.
Yeah.
He just got up and fired on her, and then told her how he really felt in his music.
Do you want him, or do you want me?
Because
I want you.
Yeah.
Because I want you. He couldn't tell that in person.
He can't tell. He
But on
can't tell
stage,
anybody.
And then a scream. You know what I'm saying?
Like if you look at his relationship with the band, if you look at his relationship with the club owner, if you look at his relationship with Apollonia, he does not have the words. He only has the words through the music.
The music. And that's why I keep bringing up the script.
Yes.
Not to down the script, but say, okay, they probably were like, this is a loosely based script. Let's just loosely do this script. Because it's more in the music tells you everything.
It drives everything.
It drives everything. And it makes up for the scenes that had lack of dialogue.
Yeah.
And
in the previous ones.
And you think about this, and it's like any other movie that has music in it, they make it sing-songy. They make it like this Disney type production. If you think about Dreamgirls, and it's just like they have scenes where there's no band there, it's just them singing in a dark room.
Yeah.
And it kind of takes away from the reality.
Like a musical almost.
Like it's a musical. It turns into a musical.
Yeah.
This is a musical.
This is
a musical based in reality. And like you're sitting there and you're along for the ride the entire time, no matter how bad the acting is. Like you're sitting there, you're like, they're doing terrible right now.
They're doing terrible. They're doing nasty work, man.
Yeah.
But as soon as them songs come on, Nikki, I Will Die For You, Purple Rain, I was anticipating that so much. I said, I can't wait till that song comes.
It's such a triumph. It's such a triumph.
And what I love about this movie is the way they tease Purple Rain throughout the entire movie.
That's I'm anticipating.
Like those chords keep coming in.
Yes.
Every so often.
Yeah.
And then there's a mystery behind the song that the girls have written. Right? And we don't know what it's going to materialize until we get to the final scene.
And then
I love the way they slow played that.
That's amazing.
So going back to I'm going back to script.
Yes.
And this is why this script is fire.
Yes.
I already started off saying the script was bad on purpose to get that to get how I felt about it leading up to the end. And at the end, you like the payoff for me.
Yes.
The payoff was like, oh, okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because what's the lyrics going to say? We saw him live the lyrics through the dealing with the class, the teammates, the bandmates, his parents, Apollonia, Morris Day, Jerome, and then in these lyrics we said, oh, so it's almost like a summary of the movie, in that.
And they set it up so good.
Yeah, my only nitpicks on the script are there's a couple of little things that they could have added that I think would have tied it together a little bit more. Like, what's the reason why the kid is beefing with Morris? Right. Like there has to be a because Morris is hating. Morris
almost self-explanatory.
He's dirty macking.
It's almost self-explanatory.
We get it that they're rivals, but like, were they all in a band together?
Right.
What did somebody happen?
Did one of the bandmates leave Morris Day and go to the Revolution?
Exactly.
Yeah.
The other piece is like, why is the Revolution on the hot seat? They seem to be jamming the fuck out,
bro. They said that,
right?
They said why though?
Because
he wasn't pulling them in like he used to.
Like, okay,
because he doesn't. And she said because he's always doing that weird stuff, and which is the knock. So I feel like a lot of the questions you get are the same questions that Prince was getting in his career.
Okay,
so in his career they were like, what is he gonna do? Why is he always doing this artistic stuff? Just give us hits.
The only problem with that, I great point, and I remember that. The
Put it in
only
dialogue.
problem is that we lead the movie off with Prince killing.
Mhm.
Like Prince is killing, and the crowd is going wild, and then we go from that to
Immediately,
nobody's feeling you. Right?
Right.
That's
Yeah.
the part
I always
that I
felt
thought was weird.
I always
Yeah.
felt like because they were feeling him.
Yes.
Mhm.
So they should
At least from that number.
I think they should have did a better job of showing that there's some people in the crowd fucking with it,
Yes.
and there's other people
yes.
like, I think it's good. I don't know if I get it because
I want to say, go ahead.
the crowd, because the crowd be rocking with it.
Yeah.
Also, we also could be biased because I'm jamming.
Right.
The crowd be doing this. I'm over here like I'm watching it. I'm sitting there like this,
Yeah.
eating my little peach. I'm like,
Mhm.
and then I was like, this man. I
It's
saw.
fire.
I kept saying, man, the dialogue is so bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody-
But then I get rewarded when I see him on stage.
When
I'm
he
like,
gets
this
back
movie's
there.
amazing.
Yeah.
Everybody on that first number.
Uh-huh.
I'm talking about the first number.
Yeah.
Prince is rocking. The crowd is rocking.
Mm.
Even the owner is nodding his
he's
head,
nodding
rocking,
his head.
right? And so I just feel like that jump from
Mhm.
there
Mhm.
to like the kid ain't bringing it, the kid ain't fucking. Well, you just showed me the opposite of that, right?
Right.
You know,
but they didn't. They didn't,
okay.
because what they showed you was he was opening for the time,
He was the
and
opening
the time when the
act.
time got up there, that's
got
when
really
everybody
It
exploded.
got really. We did. There was
That's
a
a great
jump
point.
from
Yes.
as great as he was doing.
Yeah.
Revolution was killing.
Mhm.
The time got up there and started showing.
Yeah.
He
Okay.
went the ooh 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 and
that
everybody was
it.
like,
Yeah.
ah.
Yeah.
And
The
then,
Verb,
and then,
yeah.
then you really see him like,
Okay.
okay, this is what I like.
That's great. That's
Yeah.
great. So my nitpick would echo what Ja was saying,
Mm-hmm.
which again, it's the opening of the movie, so you gotta grab them, right?
Yeah, yeah.
You gotta get people on.
Yeah,
But if it was just kind of like going back to drumline, like give me like a little bit less.
Yeah.
The
the guy that's supposed to be not on the same level as the other guy.
Mhm.
It has to give us a little bit more distance.
Yeah,
yes,
You know what I'm saying?
a little bit more
'Cause,
distance.
and here's the thing, that might have been what the script was supposed to do, but
yeah,
Prince
but Prince
is
was
too
like,
fired.
I'm going for it, right?
And
Yeah.
I don't know. I think Prince's 45% is a lot of people's 80%.
Yeah, yeah.
True.
So that's-
I don't
I mean,
think Prince.
that's-
Prince
so
don't.
It's a script nitpick, but it really feels like
Yeah.
the Revolution is just as good as the time.
Yes.
Even though the time went up, like Prince went up too. And again, it could be biased,
Uh-huh.
but I did not understand. They kept talking about pushing the revolution out,
Yeah.
and I just didn't see that translated on screen.
Yeah.
Aside from like the one number where he's obviously like fucking with Apollonia.
Two numbers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Remember, he also did the Computer Blue,
yeah.
and he's up there, and nobody's feeling that shit.
Yeah, okay.
Everybody's it's just like it's like a few people. In
Oh,
the
you
crowd.
know what? That's what it is.
Mhm.
That scene wasn't good for the
Yeah.
crowd,
Yeah.
but for us,
Mhm.
I was
We
all the
know
way in.
Yeah.
I was all the way in.
We know Computer Blue.
Yeah, Computer Blue.
And
You know what
that's
I'm
the one where he screams out of
Mhm.
nowhere, and it's like, what?
Yeah.
Even in the movie,
Yeah.
When I first saw that, I'm like, why did he just scream?
Yeah.
Like when I first saw that, I'm like, why did he just scream like that? When I listen to that song to this day,
Mhm.
I'm like, there is no reason for you to cut the song off like that.
Because I'm Prince.
It's
Yeah.
you were jamming.
Before we go to a couple other scenes, there's a theme that I want to touch on
Mhm.
as we kind of like go through,
Mhm.
which is, in 84, Prince is not the cultural opposite of Michael Jackson, but it did feel like two camps, like it's House of Dragon, like House Black, House Green.
Mhm.
Like there were Michael Jackson houses
Mhm.
where in this house we listen to Michael Jackson.
Right.
Mhm.
And there were Prince houses where in this house we listen to Prince. And then there were, of course, like hybrid house, the people that just kind of love the music. But it's interesting that at the same time we have this rise of Michael Jackson, Prince is the opposite of that in almost every way.
And Rising.
Michael Jackson is not as sexualized as Prince.
Right.
Prince, you know what I mean? Very sexualized. Prince is very much like 80s androgynous look.
Mhm.
Michael Jackson is into like buttons and zippers too, but a much different like way.
It's shinier.
Yeah, it's shinier, it's newer. You got the complexion thing, in terms of like, Prince being light skinned. I love the fact that
And Michael Jackson being what?
Michael Jackson on
Brown
his,
skin.
an emerging light. An emerging light. But what I do love, and
A
I
quest
think,
to lightness.
and I think casts an important shadow on Purple Rain, is as the stories have come out that are revealed just how Black Prince was.
Yes.
Mhm.
Right? Like, I think it's easier to kind of like see him as like an anomaly, kind of, non-binary kind of human.
Yeah.
But the stories came out, let you know that not like Prince was a nigga. You know what I mean? Like, late at night, wholeheartedly. That doesn't come across in Prince's presence, how he presents. And in some respects, his music.
Yeah.
But it's an interesting undertone when you know who he was, off stage. That's great.
I learned a lot of stuff started coming out when he died too. Of course. Rest in peace.
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace.
That he had probably like 3 different personalities. So he was on Tavis Smiley and he talked about how he was socially awkward. Like he's almost
socially
inept. Like he doesn't want to speak to anyone. He gets anxiety when he has to talk to people.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go into this character of being quiet, turning my back and being away from people because when I get around people, it gets me nervous.
Yeah.
That's one thing. The other thing is one of his other characters was really Morris Day. He acts more like Morris Day in this movie in real life. When he talks more like
he's more like Morris.
Day, and it comes out. It comes out like it comes out when he was talking to Chris Rock, and he was like, Michael Jackson said in that song, the first lines are "Your butt is mine." And he said, and he went right into Morris Day. He said, "I don't know, you talking to me,
right?
I ain't gonna nothing."
Yeah.
I ain't gonna, but he's talking like Morris Day. You're like, why are you talking like Morris Day? That's him.
That's him. Yep.
That's who he is.
Yep.
So that Morris Day character is actually supposed to be Prince. So even that, if we want to go there, it's not him. It's not him going with like fighting against Morris. He's fighting against himself.
Look at that.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Look at that.
It's a mirror. It's literally the mirror. You're looking at yourself in the mirror, and this is you.
Like that's who I would be if I wasn't as socially awkward as I am.
Or this is you when you make it versus you trying to just come up and be an artist.
Very interesting. Very
Morris
interesting.
Day in the time.
I had to get deep rolled.
Yeah,
as you should.
I like
that's
that.
why you here. That's why you here. So, Morris Day in the time.
Yeah.
It's such a great nemesis.
Mm-hmm.
You talking about weird motherfuckers?
Yeah.
Everybody were in this movie weird.
Everybody is. Yeah. The only cool one is Jerome.
And Jerome, Jerome's
a little weird too.
Jerome is shining shoes.
Yeah.
Jerome is a yes man.
He's a valet.
Is a dirty work dude.
Yeah.
Hey, I hate Jerome and I love him at the same time.
Yeah.
I said, Jerome, you a sucker. You just a lackey.
Mm-hmm.
But Jerome
is the man.
He's the man.
He's the coolest,
the coolest butler ever in life.
Yeah.
And after that is Farnsworth Bentley.
Yeah.
But
Jerome is the coolest
he was
valet.
Coolest sidekick.
Yeah.
He was the coolest sidekick. Hey, let me tell you why.
Top 5 butlers.
Top 5
sidekicks.
Top 5 sidekicks for sure. Yeah. Jerome Benton. He body slammed the chick into the dumpster, homie.
The dumpster.
I said, yeah.
On cue.
On cue.
Right.
On cue. And the way
gosh.
she looked when she stood up out the dumpster was like, damn.
Yeah.
I done talked my way into the dumpster.
Listen. Not only did Jerome body slam her into the dumpster, but the way he handled the latch, like everything was
like I've done this before.
That's what I'm saying. Is like Jerome, you know what to do.
Yeah.
He was like, got you. Yeah. Snatched her up.
There was something mechanical about that shit. Like he was just like slam.
They were,
and he had to. It wasn't just enough to slam her in the trash. He had to lit her.
Give it a lid.
Give it a lid.
Hey, case closed.
Case closed.
And they were just and he knew where the trash can was.
Yeah.
It wasn't like he was
on cue.
He was like,
I want to say he had a jacket. He threw the jacket over her head first, then threw it, and then snatched the jacket as he was closing the trash.
Yeah. But just an efficient valet.
Oh my gosh.
Jerome, bruh.
And could dance and could talk shit. And just like to me, Jerome is, out of all the people in the movie, Jerome is the one I want to hang out with the most.
Bruh.
Right? Like I don't want to hang out with the kid. I don't want to hang out with Morris, but I do want to hang out with Jerome.
I feel like Jerome was a sidekick by choice, not by happenstance or by default, because I feel like Jerome can mop the floor with Morris.
Yeah.
But I think he was a fan of Morris Day as a character, as a musician. He was like, bro, whatever you need, I'm here for you.
I think like Jerome might have been tone deaf or had like, you know, just no musical talent. You know,
but
like,
he could dance.
But he could dance.
And he can dress.
He could dance, he had everything, but he didn't have no chops.
So I think he was like
he couldn't sing.
I gotta find something for
So
you
I gotta
to do.
find something.
And I'm gonna be the best at it. I'm gonna be your best wingman, your best hype man, your best mirror man. And matter of fact, because you that dope.
Yeah.
Because Mars Day is fly.
Yeah.
You're that dope, bro.
Yeah.
And I know my strengths, I'm gonna be the best of this.
See, and if we can pause here for a second. If the world had more Jeromes in it,
oh my God, man,
how much further will we be?
I'm telling you.
Because Jerome, as much as I want to call him a sucker, like a chump, Jerome was the dude, man. Like he like you say, you want to hang. I want to meet Jerome.
Jerome is the embodiment of stay in your lane.
Yeah,
like Jerome understands his lane and he stays in it.
And I'm okay. I'm okay.
I'm good.
I'm not as colorful as
Morris.
I'm not a musician.
I'm not a musician. Like,
but I have my things.
I have my things.
But I can dance my ass off. Yeah. I can dress my ass off,
and I can entertain these hoes.
And listen, and listen, everybody. Like, I'm willing to bet that, like, to not be a musician. Like Jerome was pulling more bitches than Morris.
Oh, of course.
You know, like Morris has the fact that he's Morris and he's on stage.
Center stage.
But you could tell, like, Morris has no game.
He has no game.
Jerome has the game.
Jerome has the game, bro.
Jerome has the game.
Okay, the perfect scene for that is when he goes and he talks to Apollonia.
Boom.
Morris does.
Yeah.
He's sitting there. He's looking. He's watching the kid perform. And he sees Apollonia.
Affected.
Ooh, that girl from the other day is here.
Yep.
Jerome is over there talking to like 3 girls. They're laughing. He's having a ball. Jerome. Hold on, bitches. What's going on? You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
That girl's over here. Go ahead, send her some champagne or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay. Like, it's time to work.
And Jerome is like, I think Jerome is in control of the situation. It's okay for someone else to feel like they're the big dog, because I know my place.
Yeah,
I know what I'm capable of.
Yeah.
Right, and I think he says, "Oh, the broads love this center stage nigga with the conch. With this, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I'm gonna play my position.
Yeah,
and we gonna both win because of this situation,
right?
And the circumstances we put. Like I think Jerome low key is like a coach.
Yeah.
They're like some
offensive defensive coordinator. You know what I'm saying?
I'm going like way back into like my college and high school bag, so forgive me. There are some chemicals that when you add them to something else, it makes that thing bigger.
Combust.
Right? The moment that Jerome steps on the stage with that mirror, Morris is suddenly cooler.
Yes.
Not
the crowd goes crazy.
Because of what Jerome adds.
Yes.
So that whole beat where he comes with the mirror and then they come down and they're, fucking penguins.
And they slap hands.
And they slap hands. Come on. And all of that is Jerome cool.
Yes.
Right? All of that is like, at that particular point, Morris is like, kind of like a parasiting off of Jerome. We thought Morris was cool, but then when Jerome shows up on that stage, suddenly everybody on that stage is fucking cooler.
Yes.
And I think Jerome is the additive.
Yes.
That from that point on, you just kind of like, instead of it's like Morris and Jerome, you're like Morris gets his pass because he's cool with Jerome. Really? And Jerome steals the scene every time he's on the camera.
Y'all hoes love Morris. Morris loves me.
Yeah.
Hey, yes. There's just no Morris Day without Jerome.
None.
There's no Morris Day without Jerome. You know what I'm saying?
To this day, they still perform.
Yeah.
And Jerome, if you haven't seen like other movies, Jerome is in all the other movies. He's in videos.
Yeah.
He was in the group The Family. They got that song "Screams of Passion." Great song.
His biological brother is
being Jerome.
Terry Lewis, right?
I want to say he's
Jimmy Jam or Terry Lewis. Maybe it's Jimmy Jam, but that's how he knows all of them in real life, right?
It's like we gotta have something for him.
It's like he was a roadie. Like he basically was a roadie for Revolution and the Time, and he was just one of those like guys that they just loved having around. Couldn't play a guitar, couldn't play the piano, but like he was cool.
And so you get
and everybody to this day, ask anybody, they all speak highly of him. In an ironic twist, my trainer at Equinox is his son.
Hilarious.
That's crazy.
Yeah, like that's
I didn't knowing that I got. One day I'm gonna meet Jerome.
It's happening.
I mean, like I thought
I get the
about
opportunity to meet Prince. Rest in peace. I get the opportunity.
Yeah.
If I can meet Jerome, that'd be fire.
I taught school for a year in LA. And his son went to the school. So I met him, and this was around the time of the Chappelle Show. And so everybody wanted to ask him if Prince could really ball. So he would kind of hold court and tell those stories. And then I left the school and I just coincidentally, started working out at this gym, signed up with the trainer. Me and the kid put together where we knew each other from. Shouts out, I'm not going to say his name, but I'm eating right. And then got revealed that how's your pops. So literally
people are just gonna go to the gym and wait for you.
Yeah, wait for me to show up. We're 2 degrees of separation from Jerome.
Right.
So as soon as you make the call, make the call.
That's fire.
But to bring it back, out of all of these characters in this movie, like hands down, Jerome is the coolest.
Yeah.
And the one who is like we talk about what age is in the movie, like Jerome's still cool.
Yeah.
Like, 30 years later, everything about this guy is still cool as hell.
I promise you, when I saw there was a scene, they were backstage and he was shining Morris Day shoes, I was like, oh, Jerome a sucker, bro. He a yes man.
Yeah.
I kept watching the movie. I was like, I said, nah, I love this dude.
And that's one of the funniest scenes.
And that's one of and that's
the what scene?
Yeah, the what?
What's the password?
What's it? No, the password is what?
The password is what?
The password.
He said, okay, so I'm talking to the funny. Right? You walk up and you say what? Yeah.
So the password is yeah.
Yeah.
No, the password is what? Yeah.
What's the password?
Right. Yeah.
The password is what?
Yeah.
And the more I watched the movie, the more like he wasn't a sidekick, he's more like his partner in crime.
Yeah.
Jerome was more like his partner in crime. You know what I'm saying? So I dug it, and this is the scene that made me realize, oh, Jerome's the man. When it foreshadowed this, when Morris and Apollonia was after her Apollonia 6 performance, and she was drunk, they were both drunk walking in the alley. She says, "Where's Jerome?" He said, "He has the night off."
Yeah.
She said, "Why?" And right after that, the kid came and snatched this nigga, snatched Apollonia up, and pushed this nigga and kicked this nigga into the trash. And if Jerome was there, that wouldn't have went that way, bro.
Yeah.
It wouldn't have went that way.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But Morris Day needs Jerome.
Also, Prince did all of his stunts in this movie.
Except one. I wanted to bring this up.
Which one?
When she got into Link Minnetonka, that wasn't Link Minnetonka.
Yeah.
He said, "That's not Link Minnetonka. I tried to stop you."
He smashed off.
He smashed off. That wasn't him.
Yeah. That motorcycle almost got away.
That was another light skinned nigga.
Yeah.
But then his curl wasn't curling. If you go back and watch it, there was like an afro curl. I said, "Oh, that's the stunt man."
Yeah.
I just remember thinking, like, the fuck is wrong with this guy? Right? Like, like he's weird the whole time. Like, give me that. Like, takes the necklace off her boot, doesn't say shit to her, drives her out to like what seemed like a swamp.
Yeah,
it didn't even seem like a lake. It
marsh.
Seemed like the back of like the Simpsons nuclear, like, plant.
It seems like the places where high
Yeah.
school kids go to drink beer.
To drink beer
and
and smoke
whiskey
cigarettes.
away from their parents.
Yeah.
It was literally a creek.
Yeah.
A creek, not a lake. It was
It's
a
not
creek.
a lake. So her jumping it makes her just
He was like,
dumb.
hey. But she was so thirsty for the
She
kid.
was so thirsty.
Can we talk about when she opened that?
Man. First of all,
We didn't know.
I thought
she
she was
didn't
gonna
have no
keep it
bra.
open. I thought she was gonna keep it halfway.
Yeah.
when she took the boots off, I was like, fuck yeah. And then, and then when she slid them pants off, I was like, it's happening.
it's
Something.
It's
I said, I
going
don't remember
down.
as a kid. I don't remember. Is she? I thought she was gonna go to panties and bra.
Yeah. And when she opened that shit
I
up,
said, "Oh, Apollonia."
since 1984.
It is you.
since 1984. I've been like, that's the best fucking rack I think I've ever seen.
Damn.
You know, like non-pornographic racks. Like if we did a list of some of the best racks, like Jamie Lee Curtis got a great rack in Trading Places. You know, let's not forget about that.
That's my girl. But go ahead.
Jamie Lee.
Good rack.
Jamie Lee.
But when Apollonia opens that up,
and she said,
man,
like, ha. She opened it up low key like Eddie Kane.
Yep. And again, like I was did you watch this movie when you was a young guy?
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, like the kind of house that I grew up in, it was an all things black house. We just fucked with black people, black culture.
Right.
And so if it was black, regardless of whether it was age appropriate or not, it was approved. So I remember watching Purple Rain as a 6-year-old, sitting Indian style, you know, in the living room in front of the TV, watching all this.
Hands on your chin.
And nobody was like, turn away or don't do nothing, because you got to remember at 84, it wasn't a whole lot of black movies, TV, or anything. So we showed up regardless of what it was. So I watched Delirious like that. Like I watched all of this stuff that wasn't age appropriate when I was young, because it was a celebration.
It's black stuff on TV. Let's watch.
It was that, and it was Porky's. That was the first time that the first racks I saw.
Porky's, The Revenge of the Nerds.
Yeah. So
all the movies. You know, a movie that I couldn't watch, but I snuck and watched a little bit of it. That had like Yiddies in there. Bull Durham.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, you always remember.
Yeah.
So you always remember your early
everything
racks.
was black in my house.
Yeah.
In my uncle's house, my Uncle Jim, it was black and white. He had laser disc.
Yeah.
So he had all the Top Gun, Bull
rich.
Durham, Silverado. He had paper. He owned his own business. He owned his own car shop, car repair shop. He had paper. So he had everything. And he had all the movies. I watched everything from The Mighty Quinn to Top Gun to Risky Business. All the Molly Ringwald movies. Sweet 16, Fatal Attraction, Breakfast Club. All the movies I watched over there at my cousin's house. Because and stuff that I couldn't watch at the crib. But if I'm spending the night and it's late enough,
we watching
Laserdisc. And Uncle Jim wasn't tripping.
And you could marathon that thing. You watch like 4 or 5.
So that's why I watched Purple Rain over there.
And
now and she pulled out them titties. I said,
Lord Jesus.
You know, back then, all my cousins, my girl cousins, they were like, turn your heads. I remember doing this.
Wow.
Like they let me watch this.
Oh. So it brings up an important question. Was Apollonia a hoe?
No.
Ooh. So she's a hustler for sure.
Okay.
And listen, she wasn't out there selling snatch for opportunity.
Right.
Like she wasn't trying to bone Morris.
At first, before it went on, before you went on air, I was saying yes. And I had to we just broke down some things already. Now I have to say no. She a go-getter, she an opportunist. And she was a little naive. Because the way she presented it to Prince, the kid, was wrong. But she just trying to get on. But she was falling in love with the kid.
Right.
And she was putting it, without him knowing it, she was putting Morris in the friend zone. Morris is gonna be the big bro. And Prince
Morris never had a shot.
She was basically saying, like, let me do this. Let me do this. But like you said, she presented it the wrong way. You know what I mean? But she also didn't know that he got some trauma that he working with, and she didn't know that right hand was coming up and out like that.
And for someone 5'2",
that's what it did. It came up and out real quick.
Somebody 5'2", 5'4", he gave her that slap and it sent her. It sent her into a what?
A spin and pray.
A spin and pray. Smacked her to low key 360, and then she ended up praying.
Damn.
Yeah,
he had it in him.
He did.
I thought so. I was kind of on the same vibe where, like,
I'm not laughing at domestic violence either. I'm just laughing because nobody expects that from him.
You don't expect that.
Yes,
like,
or even in the movie
when the kid does that. First of all, he's like damn near emotionless.
Yes,
throughout the entire movie.
Super stoic.
That's the only time that you see him snap.
Yeah,
that's his daddy in him.
Yeah.
That's his training.
Yep.
That's his programming.
Yep.
Right? Which is, again, and I think important for the parallels of what Prince is going through with Apollonia and his dad and his mom.
Yeah.
Right? You can see them, you can almost see like Prince's future with his father and his, and that's how it starts. It starts with that initial slap. And if Prince doesn't modify his behavior or learn, that's how it's always going to be, right? Because she's going to stay, even though she left, but she's coming back.
Yeah.
She's always coming back because she fucks with him. Going back to is Apollonia a hoe? At first, I was going to say yes as well. And I was going to base it on what kind of woman strips, to her panties and dives in the swamp, right? But I think it was more like on some of that like Girls Gone Wild shit, which is like, sure, I'll do it. Right? Like,
there?
Yeah. Like, it wasn't like she was going to try to bone him right there to get on. It was just kind of like I'll, I'm down. Like it seemed more like of a fun thing for her and didn't seem really sexual.
Right.
At all.
I feel like.
Or am I missing that part?
No. I think you are.
You think it was sexual?
I think
she would have get her panties up if he wanted them there.
I feel like it's him.
Like he brought that out of her.
He brought all that out of her.
Yeah, so this. Right. As soon as she saw him in the club,
she had lust in her eyes.
She was staring, or infatuation more than anything.
Yeah.
I think she had never seen nothing like him.
Yeah.
And rightfully so. We haven't seen anything
Nobody
like Prince.
has seen anything like that.
No one has seen nothing like Prince. So dudes will be like, hey, dude. But your eyes are going to stare. Hence the joke about don't stare in his eyes. He's just a different type of dude.
Yeah.
And his trauma and the way he came up in life and him being such a gifted musician, gifted performer, he's one of one.
Yeah.
So you look at him like a leprechaun, like she was infatuated.
Yeah.
He came by and she didn't say nothing. He didn't say nothing. And she finally got the nerve to speak to him and he had already left.
He was gone.
Yeah.
So she just of course I'm like, bruh, say something.
Yeah.
Swagger out. He don't have no swag.
Don't need to.
Oh, he has swag. He don't have no game.
He don't have
His game is like playing like kid. He's really a kid. But
like the first words that he says to her are "Give me that."
Yeah.
Like literally, those are the first words that he says to her in the mall.
Give me that.
Give me that.
Give me that.
And then it's the bracelet. That's something that like that a kid on elementary school
that likes a girl
would say something like that.
Pulls her hair.
Give me that. Right.
And she's a kid too.
Yeah.
Remember the first time she saw his chest, she touched his thing. She was like King of the Jungle or something like that.
Yeah.
George of the Jungle. He like, bitch, stop, what?
Yeah. But the way he revs out when she's trying to get on the motorcycle,
shit
right? Like
that,
he just like all he like
it's kid shit.
He's just a kid,
and I feel like that's him in real life. I feel like that's the kid in him in real life, but I also feel like he's a grown ass man. Like even with Michael, Michael's a kid, bro.
Yeah.
But then you sit in and talk to Michael, he got a little attitude. He got a little even as a kid, I remember they were asking him questions in the interview. He was sitting with his brothers, and they were asking him questions like, is this your first time performing? He said, oh no, we've been performing since I was 8. Like he'll gracefully correct you.
Yeah.
Like he knows that you, and he's the kind of 9-10-year-old that can have a conversation with a 40-year-old man.
And that's the dualism.
But they're still kids.
The dualism between Michael Jackson and Prince because they both were robbed of their childhoods.
Yes.
Now we know more because Michael is a child star. But if this movie is reflective of Prince's life, then yes, Prince's time as a young man was spent on them chords, right?
Yeah.
Playing, learning. He played basketball. So
and he had a lot of friends.
And I guess, yeah.
And there's video of him out there.
You've seen it, right?
Like I saw a documentary. that about this movie that like the dynamics of the band were very much portrayed accurately. That like, and this goes to your earlier point about the multiple personalities in him. Everybody fucked with Prince because he was good. He was damn good. He was an amazing musician. He worked really hard, and that was and he was very inspiring.
Right. Yeah.
But a lot of people was also like, he's a motherfucking bastard too.
Yeah.
Right. So like, there's that weird kind of dynamic, which is, and you see it play out. You see it play out throughout his entire life of like being cold and steely, but then very matter of fact.
Yeah.
Like tell you exactly how it is.
Yeah.
And so, you know, the whole kid aspect, which we talked about earlier, that's in the movie for a reason.
Yeah.
And I think it is reflective of his personality.
This ain't a script flaw. This is how they're portraying on purpose.
Yeah.
He's a kid. These are kids.
Yeah.
And this is what happens when you like a guy. You do with them anything. You know? And even when he had bombed on her, that fucked me up. I was like, oh, this nigga, Prince shouldn't have won in this movie.
Yeah.
He slapped the chick out for saying something that he didn't like. That's terrible. And then we already see how bad his father is with the mom.
Yeah.
But then I'm thinking, like, honestly, in this world today, if you ever hear or see a man slap a woman, oh, he's a woman beater, he's an abuser, he should be in jail forever. Right. Castrate him and put him under the jail. And I get that. I understand that sentiment. But then if you watch the whole movie, was Prince a bad dude?
No.
You know what I'm saying? I think that him slapping her made him a poor judgment call for sure.
But here's why,
and it could have ruined his whole relationship. Maybe she was like, my mom got hit all my life, and he hit me once, and she moves back to New Orleans, and he never sees her again. That's possible too. But hold on, and so he's like, but I say this dude is hurting. Hurt people. And not to justify a man hitting a woman for sure, not at all. But I feel like in this movie, even though it's just a movie, it's like, hey, this dude is trying his best to protect a woman. So he's not a woman beater by nature. Yeah. I think, like you said earlier, he's trained, he's being conditioned. Yeah. This is what he knows.
That's the point that I'm trying to make. It's a testament to the acting of Clarence Williams. Yeah. The acting of Francis L. in this movie.
You believe it.
When Prince strikes Apollonia, it's the obvious conclusion. It still catches us off guard because we don't see it, but the moment we see it, we understand why he did it. Yeah. This is probably what he comes home to. Think about it. Like, there's one scene where he comes home and mom and dad is all hugged up and kissing on the couch.
Loving.
So think about that constant state of imbalance and not knowing what home is going to be like today. Right? Not knowing, am I coming into a loving environment or am I coming home to another one of those, you keep this house clean? That was his beef. And all the arguments.
What was he doing?
And all the arguments Francis L. was like, he definitely pointed out keeping the house clean. But that was like every time. So that's his programming. Yeah. And then you know, like when his father is downstairs playing the piano, and Prince almost like sits like a little boy, at the lap of his dad, and he wants so desperately
to
connect. Did you write this? And Dad is like, of course I wrote this.
Who else wrote it?
Yeah. Who else wrote it? And then when he goes to like when Prince kind of like explains about the girl.
He asked the question first.
What he says? Did you? You write it. We wrote it down in there, or
that's important.
He said you write it down in there. He says that's the difference between me and you. I don't have to write it down.
Yeah.
All right, your son is the best musician.
You write it.
The best musician in the world, bro. Yeah. And you're sitting there, but that's his way of pushing him away.
Yeah.
I see what you're trying to do.
You ain't shit.
Because I ain't shit.
And then he asked him about the girl. You got a girlfriend? And da-da-da-da-da. Yeah, you're thinking about getting married. And Prince almost smiles.
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't ever get married.
Right. And pulls it down. And pulls the energy right back down. Like,
and then next thing you know, he shot himself in the head.
Yeah.
Like, come on, bro.
Yeah. Like, he was going through it. And it's the subtlety of that. Like, when I'm watching the movie, I'm asking myself, why is Francis L. at the piano to begin with? Right? So he's been fighting with his wife and he's thinking about his life. Yeah. Right? And he wants to start over. He's thinking about all the different choices, you know, and that music is almost kind of like it's no longer even a place of refuge or safety for him. Right? Like, he's not playing it happily. He's not like, you know, enjoying the music. Right. It's like torturous for him.
So going back to what I said earlier, why did Prince scream in Computer Blue?
Okay. I'm waiting.
When you listen to Computer Blue, what is it? It's what his dad was playing on the piano. His dad was playing that on the
caught
piano.
That.
Doom, 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 doom.
Damn, I never caught that before.
Doom, doom, doom,
Okay.
doom.
Yeah.
So this nigga grabs it.
Yeah. Yelling at, oh my God. So what is that? So how do you interpret that? So the yell is him yelling at his dad or yelling or
it's everything.
Okay.
But yeah, definitely yelling at his dad. Like it's like screaming. Like
wake up.
wake up.
Well,
like,
you got a whole family here that loves you.
Yeah.
But
That's dope.
But then it's like you gotta think about how hard it is for his dad. Like, okay, you got this woman who used to be a singer herself.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same thing that you're going through.
It's the same thing.
It's the same thing. But I gave up on music so I can raise you. I gave up on music so I can give a home.
Or she got pregnant.
She got
and
pregnant.
I never really wanted you.
Mm-hmm.
And
I wanted my music.
I wanted my music.
But I'm a man.
But I'm
gonna
a man.
take care of you.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna slap your mama around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
Yeah. Don't ever get
It's
married.
like you got options. Don't
Right.
ever get married.
Don't ever get married.
Don't do it.
Yeah.
Her saying your father telling you never get married and you married to my mom.
Mm-hmm.
That's in your face.
Yeah.
In your face.
But that's
like, wait a minute.
But that's why I think the lyrics of When Doves Cry, makes so much sense.
So and we're not even we don't have time to talk about that song.
Yeah.
But that is one of the greatest songs ever made in the history of
This
music.
is what it sounds like when doves cry.
And listen, according to the documentary that I watched, Prince wrote that song in a day.
Yeah.
The director calls and says, I need a montage. Can you write a song for a montage? And basically, the director says that it's, has to do with the relationship between, you and your dad and you and your mom and da-da-da-da-da. And like the next day he's like, I got it. And it's Doves Cry, which is the lead single off the movie.
You want to know what's trippy?
Yeah.
Go home, listen to that song, and try to figure out what he's talking about when he says, this is what it sounds like when doves cry. Is it the music? Is it the guitar? Is it them going, huh? It's everything. It's all these interpretations of a scream.
Damn. Okay. Yeah. Cooking.
I'm just saying, it's so crazy. But they even got the it's like that song outros for 3 minutes.
Yeah.
These are all the different sounds of doves crying right here. It's like it's so emotional of a song. And it breaks the rules. Just like he broke the rules in this film with the music. That song starts out of key, way up here somewhere. No song had ever started like that before. There's no bass line in it.
Damn.
It's just drum kicks. It's like a drum kick in there. It's like that song it transcends music. It's like, no, I'm a funk artist. I'm gonna give this to the world because this is how I feel. This is what needs to be here.
Let's talk about the band real quick because eventually we'll have to get into some awards.
Right.
We want to make sure we cover everything. I thought Lisa and Wendy were just the coolest girls in the world.
Super dope.
Like they just were so
impatient.
Yeah, impatient and but like they were scowly.
Yeah.
Like they were tough girls. Tough. They felt like 80s rock girls.
Yeah.
That like were in control of their shit.
Yeah. Right.
And the rest of the band is basically like mannequins. Right? Like
they had the heart. The ladies were the heart of the band. The guys were more like we don't want to get on Prince's bad side, on the kids' bad side, and they were like, hey man, this thing ain't gonna fuck with us. Lisa's like, no. Wendy's like, yes, he is. He's not.
He's not.
But you can try if you want to. You know what? Let's just give up. Let's just go. We'll be back for the set.
Yeah.
But Doctor though.
Yeah.
Doctor, what you think about it? Play some fucking music.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just want to play the music.
I just want to play the music. but like Wendy and Lisa had songs in them, and they were funneling songs through the waitress.
Yeah.
To get to Prince because like we want to make music too. And they were like, listen, we would never make you look bad. We would never cast a shadow on you. Like we would never hurt you.
Yeah.
But like fuck with us. Right? And he gives them nothing back. Then we get like that weird ventriloquist moment with the cone doll.
Yeah.
Which is
And I think
such
he did
a
that.
weird part in that movie.
If he did, that's dope because his
think he
mouth
did
wasn't
that.
moving.
Yeah, no, his mouth was not moving.
Yeah, I think
it
he
wasn't
did
ventriloquist. It was a voiceover,
Yeah.
a dub over. So in the middle of this movie, we have like this weird like
Yeah.
this is like
Let me talk to myself.
this is how I talk to myself.
Yeah.
Which goes back to the earlier point about him not being able to express himself.
Right.
But the conversation that he has with himself is
The
even
internal-
more childlike.
The internal dialogue.
He's even more kiddie
Yeah.
because he's talking to the, life's a bitch. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, So very interesting like dynamics there
Yeah.
of this kid like in this world. And it's not like things are not spiraling out of control for him. The relationship with Apollonia, I think, is stressing him. The situation at home is stressing him. I think he doesn't ever project that there's a fear that his band is going to get kicked out of the club.
Right.
But like everything starts kind of like coming to a head. What do you guys think is the turning point for the kid? Is it Apollonia like leaving? Is it his dad getting shot?
It's his father.
It's his father.
His father.
I think everything is a turning point. I think
everything
happens.
When does it start turning?
It starts to turn
when he meets Apollonia? Or does it start to like when does it? If everything is a turning point, when does it start?
I think the turning point was where he's faced with the reality that you might end up getting cut if you don't perform the next day. And the night before the next day, his father tries to commit suicide.
Yeah.
Okay,
and at that point, it's like, man, two things have happened. The beginning to the end might be tomorrow.
Yeah.
And my father almost took his life, and he might not make it, but he might.
My father tried to take his life because he don't want to be married. He don't want to be in love.
He don't want to be here no more, and he don't want. And if I'm turning into my father, my woman left me because of how I treated her. You know what I'm saying? And my band members might leave me because of how I'm treating them.
Yeah.
Let me finally do something different than what I've been doing.
Right.
And I'm about to write to this Purple Rain.
Okay.
I think the turning point is when he slaps her. That's when he starts to know. The first time he starts to know, damn,
I'm going down my father's path.
Down that path.
They even say it a couple times, even with the bouncer.
Yeah.
Just like your dad. Like father and
like
son.
him.
They off that.
Yeah.
They
get serious
they
when
kept
that happens.
echoing that.
Yeah.
I thought
he didn't turn. He was no kid when he said that.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like the different personalities, the different energies he has. Like he a man.
It is funny because he's acting like a kid most of the time when they doing that. He's up there hitting the thing like damn. And then he comes in like, hey man, what's they want to talk to you? He said, man, tell him to wait. Nah.
Now.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Fine, I'll do it. So then it brings us to the end of the movie, which is beautifully shot and beautifully paced.
Amen.
And it's such a perfect ending. I still don't know what Purple Rain means. It's one of my favorite songs, and it's almost like I don't want to know what it means, right? Like whatever it is,
that's real artistry.
I just accept it, right? I understand the lyrics. Never meant to cause you in trouble. Never cause pain. Only I don't know what Purple Rain is. I don't know if there's a symbolism there, and I don't care. Right? There's something about the song where I don't need to. I've never taken the time to Google what is Purple Rain. Like I don't even want to know because it's just perfect. As it is.
Right.
I think that like maybe the best performed song on film. That's I guess hot take tone. I think
that's not a hot take.
I think it might be. Like I can't.
That is the take.
I can't think of
Purple
another
Rain in Purple Rain the movie.
Yeah. I'm not sure if there's another like Jennifer Hudson's Effie.
That's up there.
But the way that they shot and Prince performed Purple Rain at the end of the movie, it's just spectacular. And then like the crowd shots. It's like time capsule.
Yeah.
You could see the captivation in everybody's eyes.
Yeah.
You could see the clothing and the hair. And it just really like for the 8 minutes that song runs, it just like
8 minutes.
And you're present.
Yes.
For the whole
like
thing.
you even as a viewer, you feel present in this moment, and it calms you, and it takes you.
That's what the Purple Rain is.
The calming, the
lavender rain, lavender.
That's what it is.
Lavender.
It's
bro.
an aura.
It gets in
Purple
you.
rain.
It's an aura.
It's the aura.
And I want to see you dancing in that aura. I want to see you lose yourself inside of a place that's so blissful from all this pain that you just feel it. It's heaven. Purple Rain is heaven. Man.
Purple Rain is heaven?
Purple Rain is heaven. All I want to see you do is dancing in the Purple Rain.
Damn.
Ooh, ooh, ooh.
The aura. Thank you for giving me that.
And I didn't want to give that.
Yeah, I could tell.
I didn't want to.
Even I gave my speech about how I didn't want to know.
And I just had to.
He was like, you gonna learn today. You gonna learn today.
Also, shout out to my man Des Dixon, man. You want to be a modernere. Modernere.
Oh, that song was playing. It was like, oh no.
That's one of the most jamming songs. It never came out. I've never seen a record of it. I'm like, where is this song? And he just up there. I want to be modernere. They got a dance to it. They have a dance to modernere.
You want to be a mountaineer that bad?
Yes.
Fantastic.
Modernere.
And then we end with I Would Die For You.
I'm about to say that's a very extremely great performed song.
He tossed them tambourines into the audience.
Y'all go ahead and jam
and boom.
Yeah.
You know. I would die for you. Yeah.
I feel like everybody grew in Purple Rain. We all like grew to like whoever we were gonna be by the end of that song.
Yeah.
We were all grown-ups. We were all lovers. We understand. You know what I'm saying? We're accountable.
Man.
We're apologizing now.
Apologetic.
Like, okay, let's fucking party.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now we're ready for that.
Yes.
Now we're ready for that.
And because I did mess up. It was more than three albums. I think it was like 4. And one of those albums was 1999. So off the strength of 1999, that's how he got this movie.
That's how the movie got made. Okay. And again, like Michael Jackson has tried numerous times to make movies. He makes like vignettes, like like small things.
Right.
You know, Moonwalker is I guess a great movie.
Did you guys do that one yet?
No, we haven't done Moonwalker. Yeah, Moonwalker is hella interesting. You know, it's a hella like, what the fuck is this? Also, and you can tell like a lot of Michael Jackson's, much the same way that like Purple Rain is like a representation of Prince's world. Moonwalker is like, this is what's in Michael Jackson's head.
Right.
That's what's in his head. That's not even in his world. That's in his head.
This is what's in his head.
He's way over here somewhere. Earth song.
Yeah.
Like, come on, man.
But yeah, I like this movie. This movie, if Prince wasn't already supercharged, this movie supercharges Prince.
Yes.
And it's interesting because we feel like we know him because of this movie. And
that's true. That's true.
Like the things that the assumptions that we make about who Prince is as a person, I think are a combination of what he said in interviews and what we see in this movie. Right? And so I think like those two things, and so everything else that he does, we just accept. We just roll with it.
Think about it like this.
And he becomes Teflon.
Prince used to walk around in leather fits with his ass cheeks cut out of his pants, bro.
All breezy, all day.
But extremely breezy. And didn't nobody, Eddie Murphy teased him about it. But didn't nobody, he never got canceled. He never he was so good at what he did that he made a lot of us forgive him for a lot of things.
Not only that, we can tell from the stories, like real brawny alpha males wanted to hang with him.
Yeah.
Like everybody, like they wanted to be around Prince.
It wasn't like
true story.
It was popping.
Yeah.
True story. I had a chance to go see Prince at the Rose Bowl. I was probably like, I love Prince. I've always loved Prince, but I never thought, go see a Prince concert. I wasn't even into concerts at the time. I was just like, which is crazy because, you know, I'm all about music and everything. So I see these two thugs. It's like two, like, just gangster ass niggas. That's the only way to explain who these dudes were. They were gangster ass niggas in Vons in Pasadena. I just went over there to get some grapes or something. I got my food.
You ready to rock?
I see two niggas. They looking at me like this. So I'm like, man, these niggas is go down.
I'm about to be sweated.
Some
Denver Lanes.
Do one like this. You see Prince?
Yep.
I was like, nah. The other nigga was like this. You gotta go see him. They paid for their shit and left.
That's great. That's a great story. That's
and I was like,
yeah.
I gotta go see Prince.
I think what that is perfect. They accepted Prince for who he was.
Yeah.
And Prince was who he was.
Yeah.
It wasn't like, oh, he's gay or he's this or he's that. It was like, he's Prince. In order to get the music we got from him, he got to be this dude.
Yeah.
And men of a certain age, black men of a certain age, understand what a rock star is.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Like if you
kind of
if you came up in the 80s and 90s, you were acutely aware that these big haired, feathered, shirt off kind of guys, very weird, was smashing. You understood that.
Yeah.
And so I think with Prince, we understood because for me, like growing up, I never thought Prince was gay.
Yeah.
If I found out I was bisexual, okay, but he was always attached to some of the baddest bitches in the game.
Ever.
See, look. He did exactly what every man does.
Yeah.
If he's bisexual, okay.
Yeah.
Look, I don't care what you do.
I don't care.
But when it comes to Prince, it don't matter. He's Prince.
I say this: if he wasn't all the things that we think he might be or isn't, he wouldn't be Prince.
Yeah, but his sexuality is Prince.
But what I'm saying is that it's actually weirdly Prince's masculinity.
Yeah,
that like I think men understand.
Yeah,
despite
this man in there.
Yeah, like I don't know. There's a different level man in there.
Right.
Like there's some next level because. Even though, like, we've got the clothes and butt cheeks and all that kind of stuff, there's a machismo. Yeah. I mean, Charlie Murphy was trying to explain it.
He never came off as soft to me, even when he was doing this. Like,
yeah,
it's like this nigga's just different.
He's just
different.
He's in the Purple Rain. He's in Laura. Like he's just that's his vibe. And again, like from Vanity to Apollonia, like these are women that we were like,
Electra.
you gotta be some kind of guy. That like your stable is as bad as it is all the time. I think we understand that.
Yeah.
And so I think like that.
There's something about him that we don't know.
Yeah,
they know.
It's a rock star thing. It's just a rock star thing.
Well, I would say also what we may not understand. We may understand or not understand rock stars. But what we do understand is funk.
Yeah.
If you look at George Clinton. You look at the Funkadelic, you look at Parliament and Funkadelic. There is a man up there with a diaper on and nothing else.
Yeah.
And he is fucking the guitar up.
He's jamming.
You know what I'm saying? They are George Clinton is run out there but just buck ball naked just to mess with people.
Yeah.
And then running back putting some tight platform shoes on that go all the way up to his nipples.
Yeah.
And coming out there and he's fucking it up.
And again, if we go back to early hip hop, like Grandmaster Flash and the Furious 5,
Cool
they was dressing like Prince.
Yeah, it was.
Like,
You're right.
They
was in the gym working out, and they was out there.
It was leather. It was tassels. It was all kinds of
full force.
It was odds. Come on, man.
And that's why so many people they trip out over some of these stories that we hear because, like, Rick James he was a thug ass nigga. Like,
that's what I'm saying.
He was walking around beating people up. George Clinton,
the barges.
George Clinton was doing fraud. He was like selling. He had like counterfeit hundreds, counterfeit 20s, and that's how he was getting money so he can fund people coming from the band and stopping to work.
Yeah,
it's like they was out there getting
doing it.
Barry Gordy, we ain't go. He did just about everything.
It's another cast.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Okay, let's get into some awards.
Okay,
yes.
Who's the MVP? Who's the MVP of Purple Rain?
MVP is Prince. Honorable mention, Jerome Benton.
I can live with that.
Prince is.
I can live with that.
Prince worked through his own shit.
Yes.
And that's why he's the MVP. As opposed to sometimes we watch a movie, we were like, oh, this person helped the main character get to where he or she is.
Yes.
Prince worked through his own shit. He realized the second time he was about to fire Apollonia, and he let her up.
Yeah.
And she left him. Something got to give.
Yes.
You know what I'm saysaying? He made enough mistakes, ignoring Lisa and Wendy, beating up on Vanity, on the Apollonia, you know what I'm saying? And just letting Morris Day and the time get to him.
Yeah.
Like you know what I'm saying?
Like he almost, it seemed like he, probably like what happened in real life, eventually would let the time go on tour with him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? Like
they was fighting for a long time.
Hey, I would die for you. You see Morris Morris after a while couldn't fake the funk no more.
You couldn't knock the hustle.
He was just like, this dude is.
You couldn't knock the hustle.
He was like, chilling, having a great time.
Yeah.
This is like, you know what? This movie, I have to say this. This movie, the end of it is so just triumphant. You get Purple Rain. You get I'll Die For You. And then they turn around and get with Baby I'm a Star. Like, God.
Yeah. Like
they just back to back. Let me give you 3 bangers that you gonna listen to these songs for the rest of your life.
Hell of a farewell in the movie.
Yeah,
hell of an ending.
Like I love it. I mean, like after Purple Rain, Goosebumps, when he sprints out to the alley and we see the waitress.
Yeah,
and she's got tears in her eyes. Like she's moved beyond. She's literally crying.
When you first see the waitress, you think about her role in this movie, and she represents so much of the heart of what this movie is.
Yeah, that's a good point.
He sits there, he stands there, and he's like bending down on his knees, and she gives him the tape, and he was like, "You really like it?"
Yeah,
and she's like, "I really do."
Yeah, it's that actually. Such a good point. It's the only kind of like normal conversation Prince has in the entire movie.
Yeah.
That he has with her.
Yeah.
And that you really like it. Like that question is a legitimate question that he asked this girl. He's curious, and I think her opinion matters. Nobody else's opinion seems to matter. So it's such great balance that the song that they were talking about at the beginning of the movie, what he brings it up to, and what it brings out of her.
I forgot about that.
And it's so subtle because it happens so quick, but it's fantastic bookending.
And think about this subtleness of how strong and how he grew. Them showing that he's a man now was with her. He runs up. He ain't really been seeing her like that. He's noticed he's been talking to her. It's been, hey, she put the thing on the thing. She gives me the tape. You really like it? He's still in his head about other shit.
Yeah.
The first time he lets it go, he sees her. And what does he say? Hi.
Yeah.
And walks off. It's the first time like he really like, oh, I see you.
I acknowledge you.
Yeah,
walks off. She's crying. She was hi. You know what I'm saying? Like you've never said this to me before. Like, which is crazy.
That's great. Yeah, that's great balance. That's dope.
Super dope.
He's such a stubborn person.
Yeah.
That even when he was telling Lisa and Wendy, I'm not gonna play your stupid music. He at home playing it, turn it off. He still
and got it. It shows how much of a genius he is. I'm only gonna listen to this song 2 or 3 times, then I'm gonna play it on the piano.
And I think what's interesting is deep down, did he expect to fail? Right? Because when he storms off that stage, he's storming off that stage with like a rage of I just blew it.
Yeah.
Right? Like
by giving him who I am.
Yeah, I gave him who I am and I fucking blew it.
Yeah.
And he's mad and then and then he hears the response.
Yeah.
Like, oh shit.
They're fucking with it, right?
Yeah.
Like that emotional turn.
Yes.
I think was him thinking that like this, I gave you myself, my real, and that was a mistake.
Yeah.
I should have did that.
Yeah.
I'm embarrassed.
Yeah. Artists should really learn.
And he got rewarded for
this movie because of this type of stuff.
Yeah.
If you're an artist out there and you're really like trying to think about like what do I give? What do I put into my art? It's like it's such a hard thing to do. It's such a thing. It's like to balance it all. But when you put yourself into your art like that, like you gonna get those applause,
right?
Even if it's one person clapping in the crowd, you know what I mean. You're going to get it, and it's gonna feel so much better if you just what I'm saying,
and accept help. Right? Like
and that's what it was. He wasn't he didn't want to share the spotlight or he didn't want to accept help from Lisa and Wendy. And even in the beginning of the movie, they're like, bro, we love you, dog. I don't know why you would think that we would try to upstage you or hurt you.
Yeah.
We trying to add, we're a band, we're a family. We trying to add to this greatness.
Fuck with us.
And he's like,
look at this.
Nah,
up until this point in Prince's career, he's doing most of the production by himself. when he first starts working with people, it is 1999, right? So when he first starts letting people put actual like music, like let me do what I want to do on this track, that's Let's Go Crazy. That whole jazz piano thing with him standing on the piano, that's one of the pianists that he had in there. He went in there and just did that.
Yeah.
Everybody, that's the first song that everybody just added to. And then they put it out there. It's the first thing he released where everybody added their own thing to the song.
Had a piece.
And it turned to that. They don't even play that. That's not the song that you get on the album. You get some other shit. But there's a 8-minute version of that song where he just rocks out and everybody just does their own thing. It's freaking crazy. So like in this movie, it's really him like looking at himself in his career like, I'm going to need other people that they don't have to be as good as me. They just have to be good at what they do. I'm going to need those people if I'm going to make it. If I'm going to really become the person I need to be and not become Morris Day, the nigga that's hating and doing all this, I'm going to have to use other people and do my thing. Like that's a very like subtle message of this movie. And
I saw it because I saw it myself too. I didn't want to let nobody write for me, or write with me, or edit for me.
And then as soon as you opened up,
and I was like, man, because I'm very particular about my writing. I'm very particular about how I cut my stuff.
About my shit.
Yeah. So I wasn't vocally like selfish the way he was, but I kind of understood when they were like, I wrote something for you. I wrote this song. Somebody said they wrote a sketch. I was like, all right, cool, shoot it.
Yeah. No, I wrote it for you.
I don't need that. You know what I'm saying? But now I'm way open to it, Paul.
Because it could be good.
It could be good. And it probably always been good. But now it's more like me. I'm open to it now.
Yeah, that's dope.
And I'm open to it because if I'm waiting on myself to write everything, I'm not gonna be able to write everything. I don't have enough time. I don't have enough, especially in the time that we're trying to shoot stuff. I don't have it. Same thing with edit. It's gonna take me a week to edit, and it might take this guy 3 days.
Right. Yeah. And he wants to do it.
He wants to do it
because he wants to help.
He loves it.
Right.
LVP.
So my bad. MVP. I didn't give my MVP.
Oh, okay. So you couldn't against
it's gonna be it's gonna be.
I'm listening.
It's gonna be controversial.
I'm listening.
Francis Hill.
Okay. Why did I think he's gonna do that? So
Francis Hill is the MVP.
So give me the case. Make the case.
Based off when I said that he worked his own thing, did he? Or his dad give him an alley-oop by shooting himself?
Is that your argument?
My argument is,
I hear what you're saying, John.
Without
Francis
Hill, we don't get Purple Rain. Without the turmoil that he put in this man's life,
sacrificed.
He's a martyr. Actually, he didn't die, so he's not a martyr. But like,
Eddie Strong. He took a bullet to the head.
Yeah.
By his own doing.
Mm-hmm.
And he's who he is.
Yeah.
Everybody's who they are because of this man.
Yeah.
That club was what it was because of Francis Hill.
He kept them doors open.
And then give my son a chance.
Yeah.
My son's gonna do the same thing for the club.
Very interesting. And gives Prince solid advice.
Solid.
Never get married.
Don't get married.
Yeah, is that solid advice?
I mean, I think yeah. I think from their world and their perspective.
Wait a minute. Would you tell someone to never get married?
Not without knowing them.
That means yes.
Yeah, not without knowing them, but like in that moment.
Yeah.
It's almost kind of like the past, present, and future meet.
And
it's just for a brief moment is that it's like, if you're like me and you're into music and want to perform, getting married is the worst thing that you could do.
And maybe he's saying, maybe he's not saying, blanketly, don't get married, people. He's probably saying, you, son, I see how you're moving. I see what you're doing.
Yeah.
I see me and you. Don't get married.
Yeah.
Because literally.
Don't get married. And if you do, you might end up like me.
Exactly. Because it's right there. Like in that moment, that's what's, it's kind of like, I think, wise advice. Because
I get it.
You see the parallel.
Yeah.
If you, you're going to fall in love with Apollonia. Yeah. You're going to get married. You're going to have a kid. And you're going to be
resentful,
and he saw
for the rest of your life.
He sees himself hanging, and he goes crazy on whatever hooch that his dad was making in that basement.
He started breaking
crazy
all that hooch.
on the hooch and the jelly. It was jelly and hooch everywhere.
Marmalade, molasses.
LVP. Is there an LVP in Purple Rain?
Can I give you mine?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Francis L.
Francis L.
Francis L.
Play with your kid.
Yeah.
Play
Show
the
him
music
some
with
love.
your kid. Show him
He would have been
your
such
music.
a better. He probably would have even been a better. As great as he was as a musician, he might have even been even better.
Yeah.
He would have been a better man.
Better man.
Yeah. I think Francis L. just didn't have it in him. Yeah, I think the script doesn't say this, but Prince is the child he never wanted. Prince was the kid that he fucked around and fell in love with Prince's mom.
She looked like she used to be bad back then.
She used she looked like she looks like an older Apollonia.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And this bitch and this kid fucked up my music. Right? And so
he looks.
That's
this bitch and this kid fucked up my music.
That's basically Francis L's life thesis.
Gosh.
That's his life thesis.
I'm beating your mom up, and you gonna try to stop me, man? Take this slap.
Fuck
yeah.
You know,
I already can't play.
Yeah. Prince was the kid that he never wanted,
that he never wanted.
And he became the man that he never wanted to be.
Damn.
Yes.
Yeah.
A working man that has to come home, pay bills.
And I think
and beat his wife up for not cleaning the house up.
That's gotta qualify as the LVP. Nobody even though that's why I think it makes sense that it's dual, that he's the MVP and the LVP.
Yeah.
Because nobody fails more in the movie than Francis L.
Well, there is one other person.
Who else would you consider?
Apollonia.
Huh?
Only because she's a liar. You can't sing or dance.
But that's not
even with her dance moves. They were like just slow sex.
Yeah.
They had to, you know what I'm saying?
She's J-Lo. Right? But I'm fine.
I'm joking.
J-Lo can dance.
I'm joking. J-Lo can dance. She can entertain.
Apollonia was going to be able to dance too. I mean, you got to understand who was choreographing for him. Morris and Jerome. Right? Give her a shot.
Mo ass is swinging.
Yeah.
Mo ass is swinging.
Give her a shot.
I just need to call her a liar.
Yeah.
I'm just playing.
I mean,
Francis L.
The club owner wins in the end.
Yeah.
So he's not the LVP.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Everybody from both bands wins in the end.
The club owner cries. After he hears that song.
Yeah. So
oh my God.
The only person that's more worse off from the beginning of the movie to the end is Francis L.
Yeah.
Even Prince's mama is like, I can kind of go live with my sister now.
I'm sorry.
You even failed at killing yourself.
Right.
Yes.
Right. You didn't even kill yourself.
So
you failed.
Okay, so my LVP.
Yeah, that's great.
My LVP
You can't do shit.
is Moms.
Yeah.
Oh, come on, Moms.
Mm-hmm.
I love you, Moms, but you was only there to get slapped around. You didn't even protect your son when he got slapped out. And you never gave him no words of wisdom. You never came to his shows, probably because you would have got faded when you got home. So I get it. I'll start you on that.
She's a protector.
But man, you never even had a conversation with your son the whole movie. At least Papa Francis L. had a heart to heart.
Yes.
In her defense, she is so shell shocked. The PTSD
all day.
The PTSD in Prince's mom. She's like 20 years worth of torment, right? Like
she got so much scar tissue.
This is she's basically a walking lobotomy. At that point, right? And again, think of it like this. Imagine you had a dog in the house that you've had since it was a puppy, but the dog is bipolar. One day the dog is wagging his tail and wants to play, and the next moment it's snarled teeth trying to bite you. That was her existence in the house. I mean, there's evidence when it was hugged up on the couch.
She was
that particular day. Francis L. was the Francis L. that she fell in love with.
Yeah.
Maybe sang her a song.
She was
played her a little
back
tune.
when he was Frankie.
Exactly. You know what I mean? And so I give her a pass because out of everybody in the movie, she's had it the roughest, right? She's been fucked up for years, living with this bipolar man, and
her son just went crazy on her jelly jar.
Yes,
She was gonna sell that shit.
And who had to clean all that shit up?
You know what I'm saying? That was the Avon of that time. Is selling jelly.
Her son is taking her shoes all the time and scuffing them. Is taking her jewelry all the time.
Her ice skating clothes.
Her makeup drawer. Like she's got no peace.
Yeah.
She's got one man beating her and his son that robs from her.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
he done gave my earring to some girl.
Done tossed it out the window.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And never seems to be able to help me when I'm getting fucked up.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. He tries,
and
but
he gets his ass.
But he's paper thin. You know,
we made a man terrier.
Yeah. I mean, when you think about it, this is fucked up, man. This is fucked
very
up.
challenging, but
he's aggressive.
Prince's mom takes a better punch than Prince.
Oh
yeah.
That's fucked up, I know.
Jesus.
But it's evidenced in
Pops sent Prince to the other hallway.
Yeah.
He socked him across the room.
Slapped him across the room.
He laid there and thought about it.
Yeah. You see moms laid out like that.
It was so bad that let's just go to another scene.
Yeah. It was like he slapped him. He slapped Prince so hard that the argument stopped. Like everybody was like,
he slapped himself out of anger.
Exactly. He got it all out.
And he was done.
Then he was like,
yep.
And Prince is,
where are my cigarettes? I hate all y'all.
I hate all y'all.
That's.
I hate us.
I hate this shit.
I hate us.
I mean, friend, I'm gonna kill myself one of these days.
Oh my god.
Okay. Award. Fists.
From
1 to 5.
1 to 5.
1 to 5.
Oh yeah.
Easiest 5 ever. Easiest 5 ever.
Overall, it's a 5 for me.
It's a 5.
I have my critiques, you know what I'm saying? But
hell yeah.
I feel like the critique when I feel like what I criticize kind of works for the film. In the end.
Yeah.
You have to see this movie.
I'm gonna give it a symbol.
Yeah, I know. I understand what you're doing.
And 5 of those.
5 of those symbols.
5 of those symbols.
5 of those symbols.
Makes total sense.
Yeah.
Makes total sense.
Some kind of
Fantastic movie. Fantastic
ending.
Yeah. And emotional.
For a movie with non-actors, so many non-actors.
Yeah.
That was a I feel like it worked. It still worked.
They pulled it off.
They pulled it off.
They pulled it off.
Yeah.
Like it's weird that like clunky actors deliver powerful emotional response. It happens.
I like how he said I could have put anybody in. I could have went and got Eric LaSalle to play Morris Day, his character. I could have went and got whoever else who was the Halle Berry of that time. I don't know who that was. I don't know who that was in '84. Who the Halle Berry of that time was.
Yeah, I mean, you could have got Madonna.
I could have got Madonna to play this. I didn't. I'm gonna go with Apollonia. I'm gonna go with the people in my camp.
We're gonna shoot it in Minnesota.
Gonna shoot it in Minnesota.
Yep.
It's gonna feel so real because they were there with me. Some of these people were here with me.
Yeah.
That's one thing. The other thing is like they're homies. We're homies, and we just pulled off making this movie. If you don't see the greatness in this film, the Oscar award-winning film that it is,
what was so brilliant about it is that they released When Doves Cry 11 weeks before the release of the film.
Yeah.
So it was that was already a hit song.
I remember that
before.
Dang.
And then that brought even more people into this theater, and then they tour, and then because of that, Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis go on to work with Janet Jackson and all these other different people.
What I was telling you?
Yeah, like I mean Morris. Morris is still performing.
Yeah,
you can catch him at the Hollywood Bowl.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? At the Playwood Jazz.
Yeah.
Still.
Get it up. Get ready for a real good time.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Revolution.
The Revolution.
That guy had the best job.
Man, that's it.
Morris Day.
Ladies and gentlemen,
in
the time.
The time. Yes.
like
that was some names back then.
Yeah.
What y'all call it? We're called the time.
Yeah.
All right.
The time. We're the time.
Yeah.
And then we're the Revolution.
Yeah.
Revolution.
Whatever y'all know, whatever y'all seen before, I ain't seen this.
I ain't seen it.
Revolved.
Yep. The family.
The family. Parliament.
The Parliament.
People listening with their gym and hologram,
my
tattoos,
gosh.
everything was dope.
Yeah, man.
Purple Rain.
Purple Rain, y'all.
Yeah. Purple Rain.
We can go on. As you can see, we slacking we prolonging the
because there's so much stuff
more to talk about.
Yeah.
But I feel like we did a good job discussing Purple Rain,
Yeah.
characters,
great gems, great bars.
Yeah. Shout out to Prince, rest in peace, man.
Yeah.
He made a banger, and we're gonna check out. Soon come, we're gonna check out Graffiti Bridge.
Yeah. All
right. Woo!
You got a couple of them.
Come on now.
Y'all gonna do y'all gonna do Under the Cherry Moon?
We're doing them all.
Under the Cherry Moon.
We're doing them all.
The Cherry Moon is crazy.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. That was an episode of BlackBusters, the best movie review podcast in the world.
In the world, Craig.
In the world, Craig.
In the world, Craig.
I'm your host, Big Jai, along with my co-host.
Yeah, one of my Lake Minnetonka.
AKA
Tone Deaf.
No,
hey, I know. I was gonna keep running with it. 1990 Tone.
1990. We gonna party like it's 1990.
I was dreaming when I wrote this.
Tone.
Yeah.
And my brother Ken Edwin once
He's
again.
the best.
He'll be back.
He's the best.
He'll be back for all things Prince
Mm-hmm.
and much more. So we'll check y'all next time, man. Be good or be good at it. Love y'all. Peace to the max.
BlackBusters.